Here we are. But again, we're here at Mount Vernon High School. It's game one of a doubleheader as Lady Arabian basketball is on the air. We are live here at Mount Vernon High School as Conference foe Marauders host the Arabians, who look to right the ship after losing 3 of their last 4. Here in the Arabian Stable pregame show, my name is Sam Bannon alongside Brian Walker as we finally get this one underway, somewhat officially now, quote-unquote. Brian, now it's time here on the Arabian Stable pregame show for Keys to the Game, brought to you by Heather Upton, the real estate pros at Keller Williams. Pelham Heights 4-4 against Mount Vernon, who's 3-5. Brian?
So mainly tonight, or today per se, for the keys of the game, I'd like to see Lauren Landis be able to get a lot more action going. Only losing for past games, I haven't really seen the Arabian offense been able to do much down in the key. I'd like to see more shots as well. Definitely running up in the paint. I haven't really seen that aggression yet from the Arabians, so hopefully today they can get something going.
And that's this little rough patch for the Arabians, for the girls' basketball team here tonight, or rather here today, as we should say, since it is 1:30 in the afternoon. But that almost coincides with Allie Hall, who is still out with that foot issue. But now we're going to go through the starters first for Pelham Heights. Brian, you just mentioned the senior Lauren Landis, the lone senior on this team. She's starting tonight, as well as Caitlin Graham, averaging 13.3 points per game. She scored 15 or more points in the previous 4 consecutive games. Kylie Davis, the freshman, also starting tonight for the Ravens, as well as sophomore Aubrey Dwiggins and sophomore Lakin Connor, the forward and the center, rounding out the lineup for Pelham Heights. Now tonight, the lineup for the Pelham Heights, or rather the Mount Vernon, I should say, the Mount Vernon Lady Marauders. Number 10, Caitlin Dunlavy, a senior for the Marauders. Number 12, Tessa Freeman, a 5'5 sophomore, as well as Sophia Williams, who leads the team in scoring at 10 points per game, even also leading the team in rebounds at just under 7. Sydney Perry, a sophomore as well, shooting just 29% from the field this year, as well as Lexi Shelton, little sister of former Indiana Miss Basketball candidate Sydney Shelton, who was here a few years ago and averaged about 23 points per game. Lexi Shelton in her freshman year just about 6.1. This game gets underway. Lakin Connor for the Ravens tips it right to Mount Vernon Marauder. This one is underway in the hands of Tessa Freeman, the point guard now for Mount Vernon. This game just underway here for a doubleheader for Arabian basketball. Wide open top of the key, three-point attempt by Caitlin Dunlavy. Misses her first, or rather would have been her first 3 of the year, but it's off wide right. We have the boys basketball game tonight against Carmel at 7:30 p.m., so be sure to tune in to that game as well. Brian, you and I will be on that game again as well. Kylie Davis now for the Arabians on the top of the key. Back to the basket, trying to find someone to pass to. Now finds the leading scorer, Caitlin Graham on the right wing, who passes right back to Davis, sitting in the half-court circle. Now steps up to the top of the key, hands it back off to Caitlin Graham. She now runs from the top of the key over to the left wing. Trying to find someone down low. It's the 6'3" Lakin Connor. Swings over to Lauren Landis in the corner. Now drives in baseline. Throws up off the glass for the first points of the afternoon. 2-0 Arabians as Lauren Landis is on the board. And Kylie Davis steals the inbounds pass, but she steps out of bounds. Just as soon as she had possession of that ball, it will be Marauder basketball once again. 6:59 remaining here in the first quarter. Pelham Heights and Mount Vernon. Mount Vernon with the basketball now. They inbound it underneath their own basket. Rather, the Arabians' own basket, I should say. So they now cross half court. Running their offense now. Freeman with the basketball running to the top of the key. Fires it over to the long ponytail number 22, Sydney Perry on the right wing. Now back over to Perry. Her high-arcing three-point attempt is too strong. Rebounded defensively by Lakin Connor of the Arabians as she shoves her own teammate Dwiggins to the ground. Landis running the semi-fast break. It's called for walking. And it will be Mount Vernon basketball after the turnover by the senior Landis. It was a kind of a semi-fast break there, Brian. The pace was turned up, but it was still 5-on-5, so I guess you can't even really call that a fast break. Mount Vernon with basketball now. We're trying to do a bounce pass, skip pass in between the teeth of the defense to a cutting Caitlin Dunlavy there with Sydney Perry with the pass, but out of bounds off Dwiggins, and it will be Mount Vernon basketball once again. Inbounding underneath their own basket in the first in Mount Vernon, painted along the baseline. Pass between the legs of Lakin Connor for 3 is Sydney Perry. It's too strong. Her second missed 3 of the game so far, and it bounces out of bounds. No one touches it. It will be Arabians basketball.
This game is, progressing very slowly. The Arabians are just taking their time, setting up a proper offensive formation here, playing a lot of defense, and then trying to get the ball rolling here. As the Arabians are now in Mount Vernon territory. Mount Vernon reclaiming the ball in their past half here.
Connor was at the elbow, lost the ball, mishandled the pass. Jump shot inside the arc, taken by Dunlavy, only averaging 0.9 points per game. is too short. Gets her own offensive rebound, however, tries to find Sophia Williams leading scorer down low, but it's off the hands of Aubrey Dwiggins. She tips it out of bounds. It will be Mount Vernon basketball once again. 2-0 in favor of the Lady Arabians with 5:55 remaining in the first quarter. Pump fake by Perry, the three-point line, drives inside, gets blocked by Connor, but a foul called before the block. Either it's on Connor or on the defender who was trailing her, and it is on not Lakin Connor, it's on Kaylin Graham of the Arabians. Shooting foul. Arabians' first team foul here in the first half. The first free throw, high arcing shot, puts Mount Vernon on the board 2-1 in favor of the Arabians still. Now we'd like to take the time to thank these WEEM donors. Shane, Amanda, Matthew, Hannah, Scott, and Maddie Falk. Second free throw, high arcing again, but good again as well. 2-2 in favor of Pendleton, or rather, tie game, I should say. As well as Tom and Jessica Bannon, our donors. Mercer Home Inspection, John and Connie Broughton, as well as Joe and Connie Buck. Mount Vernon showing the full court press here against Pendleton Heights. Aubrey Dwiggins on the left wing fires cross court to Kylie Davis, who now finds Lakin Connor down underneath the basket. Great defense, or rather great offense by the Ravens, I should say. Lots of ball movement there, puts the Ravens back on top at 4-2. Lakin Connor with 2 points added to her total. Mount Vernon with the basketball now, driving inside the paint is number 33, Lexi Shelton, just the freshman. Misses her shot inside the paint, rebounded offensively by the leading rebounder, Sydney Perry, or rather that is Sophia Williams for Mount Vernon. Foul called on the play, and Williams will head to the line for 2 shots as she was fouled on the putback attempt.
Lakin Connor here, being the only 6-foot athlete out there today, that gives Pendleton a little bit of a height advantage out there, as their tallest person is only 5'10". That's Caitlin Urgit, who is not currently playing for the Marauders. Just that height advantage in general kind of gives the Arabians a big advantage down there, especially at the baseline. As you saw the play earlier when they got that second layup, you could see her height came into a big factor right there.
Williams hits both free throws from the line. Now tied once again at 4 apiece. Davis at the top of the key for Pendleton Heights, just a freshman. Takes the ball back out, starting point guard for this team now. She's moved from shooting guard to point guard with the injury to Allie Hall. Davis has the ball once again on the left wing, being defended tightly by Caitlin Dunlavy, trying to lob it down low to Aubrey Dwiggins. Pressure all around her. Gets the own pass after it's tipped away by Perry of Mount Vernon. Caitlin Graham wide open on the right wing, and she drains the three-point basket. 7-4 in favor of Pendleton Heights. Caitlin Graham shoots more threes than twos by about 3 times the rate, and shoots better from 3 actually than overall, which you hardly ever see. Shoots 40% from 3, 39% overall. Mount Vernon with the basketball now. They only shoot 26% from behind the arc. And a free throw line jump shot for Dunlavy, and she still cannot get on the board. 0 for 3 today so far. Earlier in this game, 7 Knights. Caitlin Graham for another 3, and she hits another 3, this time from the top of the key. She's on a 6-0 run herself. 10-4 in favor of Pendleton Heights, and a timeout called by Julie Shelton, head coach of Mount Vernon. With that timeout, we're going to take a quick timeout as well. The score right now here at Mount Vernon High School. Pendleton Heights has 10, Mount Vernon has just 4, with 4:10 remaining here in the first quarter. Listening to the voice of the Arabians, rather you're listening to Arabian basketball, I should say, on the voice of the Arabians, 91.7 WEEM.
WEEM is underwritten by Pendleton Family Optometry, offering eye care services with lenses, frames, contacts, vision correction, and more. Pendleton Family Optometry is located at 120 East State Street in Pendleton. Information unavailable at 765-778-7524.
Welcome back here to Mount Vernon High School. The score right now, Pendleton Heights 10, Mount Vernon 4. I suppose we could say, Brian, Caitlin Graham 6, Mount Vernon 4, as she has hit the previous 2 shots in this game, both from behind the arc.
Her accuracy in general has just been insane these past couple of games. You said earlier she is a better scorer from threes than any other shot, and you could see that today.
Mount Vernon with the basket now. Perry driving in, gets called for the travel. She tried to pump fake Kylie Davis and drive in, but called for the travel behind the 3-point line. And it will be Arabians basketball. Lenny Wilson now checking into the game in favor of Lakin Connor. The Ravens going small here. Aubrey Dwiggins wide open underneath the basket. Lauren Landis with the assist. Pendleton Heights now up 12-4. 8-0 run for Pendleton Heights.
Aubrey Dwiggins as well, being able to be that great baseline offender up there, just being able to get those easy layups, especially from amazing passing from Lauren Landis, of course.
Traveling wildly from Mount Vernon is Caitlin Dunlavy, senior for Mount Vernon. Somehow throws it off the glass, cuts the lead down to 6, 12-6 in favor of Pelvin Heights. Turnover by Lauren Landis and Pelvin Heights. Will be Mount Vernon basketball. Trying to push the pace here, taking the ball now is Tessa Freeman. Top the key, swings it over to Lexi Shelton, the freshman. Off the foot of Lauren Landis. Foul called. Not sure against who, didn't see much there, but a foul was called. We'll see who it is against. That is on Aubrey Dwiggins. I believe that is her second. It is her second foul. So she gets into some foul trouble early on here in the first quarter, and Lincoln Connor will come right back in as almost as soon as she heads to the bench. 12-6 in favor of Pelvin Heights. 3:09 remaining in the first quarter here against Mount Vernon for Lady Arabians basketball.
You're starting to see the Arabians have a little bit of that miscommunication problem that they've had this entire season so far. Hopefully, this is just the first quarter. Hopefully they can clean that up going into the second.
Offensive rebound by Perry. Now down low to Shelton, the freshman. Bouncing all around Lauren Landis, much bigger than she is. She gets fouled on the shot attempt. She went to the line now for 2 shots. Mount Vernon has 6 points in this game so far in the first quarter, 4 of which coming at the free throw line. And Mount Vernon, as a team this season, shoots 77% from the charity stripe. A rare miss there by Mount Vernon as that one rattles in and out. Lexi Shelton this season shooting 91%, 10 for 11 coming into tonight. Now 10 for 12. 12-6 in favor of Pelham Heights. 2:57 remaining in the first quarter. The second free throw is too short. Rebounded offensively by Mount Vernon, and Caitlin Nugent just checking in off the bench. And she puts Mount Vernon, rather she cuts the Arabians' lead to 4 points as she puts Mount Vernon at a score of 12-8. Ware 0 for 2 for Lexi Shelton, but they still get 2 points out of it anyways. Ravens down with the basketball. Leonie Wilson back to the basket behind the top of the key. Trying to dribble in. Floats it up to Lauren Landis in the right corner. Landis trying to find someone to pass to. Now finds Kaylin Graham at the top of the key. Graham back over to Landis. Left wing. Shoots up a 3-point shot attempt. And it's too strong. Landis has been struggling immensely from behind the arc so far this season. Just 20% from the 3-point line. Typically a dead-eye shooter in the previous seasons. Turnover by Mount Vernon. They throw it right away. But regardless, a quick turnover by Mount Vernon. Still Arabians basketball, still the Arabians lead. 12-8 with 2:10 remaining in the first quarter.
Leonie Wilson being able to step up a lot this year, as well as Kylie Davis, the freshman starting on the varsity team. I've really liked the synergy between Leonie and Lauren this entire season. Even through practices, you can see they have some sort of rhythm together. And if they can get that rhythm down, they could be a deadly duo.
Kaylin Graham pump fakes top the key, instead bounced over to Lauren Landis on the left wing. Floats up for Lakin Connor underneath the basket. Gets too far. Wide open. Kylie Davis on the right wing. Her 3-point attempt is too short. She's been struggling shooting in the past 4 games. It'll be Mount Vernon basketball after they get the rebound. Down 4 points is Mount Vernon. They've scored the previous 4 in this game. Trying to find Sophia Williams down low is Sydney Perry, but it gets kicked by Kaylin Graham. Kicked ball violation. It will be Mount Vernon basketball once again. So they reset.
One big thing the Arabians are struggling with shooting, like we said earlier, this entire season. Lauren Landis, as we said, being a dead-eye shooter in past seasons. This season, I'd like to see her be more of a facilitator.
Kaylin Graham picks off. Ravens running the fast break. Now Kaylin Graham at the top of the key underneath to Leonie Wilson. Twist, turn, spins all around, floats it up, misses badly in the paint. Now Mount Vernon running their own. 12-8 in favor of Marauders. Pull-up jumper in transition is rattling in and out for Sydney Perry, shooting 24% from behind the arc this season. That one was about as far in as it can go and still popped out. Low-scoring first quarter here at Mount Vernon High School, 12-8 in favor of Pelham Heights. 1 minute remaining. Wilson crosses half court for the Arabians. Now blows right past her defender in the paint. Throws it up wildly and misses off the back iron. Rebounded by Mount Vernon. Sydney Perry pushing the pace. 5-on-4 fast break. Williams underneath gets blocked by Lakin Connor. And off the hands of Sophia Williams will be Arabians basketball. Connor averages 1.6 blocks per game. And Brian, you mentioned the only 6-footer on the floor. Only 6-footer, I should say, for either team, whether she's on the floor or on the bench tonight.
And height is a big factor when it comes to basketball, of course. Being able to, that helps with your jump shots, your layups, everything, especially when it comes to defense.
Davis at the top of the key swings over to Kaylin Graham who has 6 points in this game. Lauren Landis in the corner for 3 is too strong. Kaylin Graham tries to save it, but not before. She is out of bounds. It will be Mount Vernon basketball. Brian, when was the last time we saw any points in this game?
It's a hot minute or two.
It's been a while. Both teams have gone ice cold suddenly from the field, especially the Arabians. Arabians basketball as Tucker tried to toss it in to Abby Worley coming in off the bench, but it was tipped out of bounds by appeared to be Wilson, but they ruled it Arabians basketball. So Arabians had the possession right underneath their own basket. Wilson for Pelton Heights at the top of the key. 15 seconds left in the first quarter. Landis driving in baseline. And now has Kaylin Graham on the right wing back over to Landis, just in front of the center court circle. 5 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Kylie Davis from the right corner for 3. It's an air ball, too strong. And that buzzer will end the first quarter. A low-scoring affair here at Mount School. This two-part Arabian basketball doubleheader. As it stands right now, as we head to the second quarter, Pelton Heights has 12 points. Mount Vernon has just 8. We'll be right back. You're listening to Arabian basketball on the voice of the Arabians, 91.7 WEEM. Welcome back here to Mount Vernon High School alongside Brian Walker. My name is Sam Bannon. The score right now in favor of Pelton Heights, 12-8. We set to begin the second quarter. Brian Walker, you have the second quarter play-by-play as well as the third quarter. So, Brian, take it away as we're set to begin quarter number 2.
Before we begin on the second quarter here, just a couple key things, Sam. Lauren Landis looking a little bit frustrated with her shots as of today. What do you think about that real quick?
Well, she's only shooting 20% from the field, so I'd be frustrated. Or 20% from 3, I should say. I'd be frustrated as well if I was Lauren Landis.
Arabians now with the ball in Mount Vernon territory. Leonie Wilson looking for a little bit of a spin move. Down to Leighton Connor. Connor in the paint now.
And she gets fouled on the shot. Count the basket. Chance to convert the three-point play for Lake and Connor.
Pelton, of course, leading 14-8 here at Mount Vernon. Get 2 free throws in for Connor. Sorry, 1 free throw. Unfortunately, it does not go in. It bounces in and straight out to the far left here. Mount Vernon will get the ball back on their side. Marauders going to start working their way up the court very slowly, very technically and strategically. Past half court now. Alexi Shelton with the shot. It is no good. Rebounded by the Arabians. Stolen back from by Mount Vernon. Mount Vernon ball.
Well, a jump ball was called, and possession points in favor of the Marauders, so we'll maintain. Rather, they will retain possession, will Mount Vernon.
Back to Lexington. Goes up for the 2. It is no good. Pendleton does receive the ball back.
Well, she tried to go off the glass. She did hit the glass, so I give her credit for that. It's something I probably could do if I was down there right now. But it was nearly, or rather I say it was so high off the glass, it nearly went over the backboard. But it still came down to earth. Connor got the rebound, but the foul was called a loose ball foul against Kaylin Nugent of Mount Vernon.
Kylie Davis now with the ball, working with Leonie Wilson and Kaylin Graham yet again. Wilson at the elbow, takes the shot, it is no good. 2 points for Leonie for the 3 throws here.
If I had to compare Leonie Wilson to an NBA basketball player from 2011, I would compare her to John Wall, because John Wall, when he first came in the league for the Wizards, he went at about a million miles an hour. Was kind of out of control a lot of the times, but was still a very good player, especially on defense. And since John Wall has kind of changed his miles per hour, quote unquote, so to speak, and he's gotten a lot better. Wilson still hasn't done that yet, but she's very aggressive. Is not afraid to shoot. Is not afraid to attack the basket. 0 for 2 here tonight, and got fouled on this third shot attempt.
Makes the first free throw. Unfortunately, the second one just bounces off. It was a little bit too hard there. Mount Vernon retains the ball into Pendleton territory. Sydney Perry working her way up with her team now. Tessa Freeman loses the ball, sends it over to Abby Worley. Abby Worley, unfortunately, unable to get that 2-point conversion right there. Arabians will retain the ball. Lauren Landis now working her way up the court. Looking for a drive here, possibly pass out to Kylie Davis. Kaylin Graham now with the ball. Kaylin Graham looking for their 3rd shot of the night. It is good.
Well, she's just ridiculous. She's now taken 3 shots in the game and has 9 points. She's hit all 3 of her threes from the left wing, the right wing, top of the key. She now has 9 points. Mount Vernon has just 8. And we're already here in the second quarter with 6:15 left.
Pendleton now leading 18-8 here at Mount Vernon. Abby Worley now working her way up with her team for Mount Vernon, passing it back. Leonie Wilson able to steal the ball there mid-pass. Wilson now working her way up the court. Again, stolen back by Mount Vernon. Freeman able to get that easy steal right there, as it was a somewhat of a sloppy pass by Wilson. Mount Vernon able to put one up as a layup for Mount Vernon, and a foul called on the Arabians.
Well, the pendulum of momentum quickly swinging here. Pelham Knights just had that three by Kaylin Graham, and then Wilson picks it off and then immediately throws it away. And then on the other end, Freeman for Mount Vernon hits the shot. Now at the line's chance for her at the three-point play. She does not, but still potential 5-point swing there in favor of Mount Vernon.
Arabians back with the ball. Wilson working her way up the right side of the court now, working with Kylie Davis back on the left. Arabians just looking for simple passes here, trying to get something going. Landis trying to facilitate something, calling for the ball. Davis now being double teamed. Graham trying to find a pass or a shot here. Arabians are taking this very slow, very technical and strategic. Davis over to Graham. Graham going for the long pass to Landis. Landis yet to put a three-point in today. He'll be knocked out of bounds by the Marauders. It is still Arabian ball.
Landis this season averaging 8.9 points per game. Second on the team behind only Kaylin Graham.
Leonie Wilson now receiving the ball from the throw-in from Lauren Landis. Leonie's such an aggressive player here. She has good ball handling skills. She just is super aggressive and takes all the shots she can. Needs to mature a little bit and work with some of the team. Arabians are able to put up a 2 there. The score right now is your Pendleton Heights Arabians leading with 20, Mount Vernon trailing with 10 with 4:52 left in the second quarter here.
Well, as Caitlin Graham just hit that shot the first time, she's taken a shot not inside the arc. Hits it this time. 4 for 4 from the field. Already has 11 points. Mount Vernon still with just 10. Outscoring the whole team by herself.
A very slow game today. Surprisingly, coming Mount Vernon versus Pendleton, normally kind of big, faster games, fast-paced. Today's just been kind of slow. Teams trying to feel each other out and see what will come the second half. See how aggressive they become. Mount Vernon with the three-point shot by Sydney Perry. Unfortunately, not able to go in. Is a little too hard. Bounces off the back of the rim there. Pendleton will receive the ball back.
Well, you mentioned how it's kind of not a very typical Mount Vernon Pelham Heights girls basketball game because of how kind of slow it's been. But the same goes for the score. Pelham Heights up, doubling up Mount Vernon 20-10. They're just 2-6 against Mount Vernon since 2010. They did win last year, but still not a very good record this decade against the Marauders. A blocking foul called against Sophia Williams while Landis was driving baseline. It will be Arabians basketball. One more foul, Pelham Heights will be in the 1-1 bonus.
Subs coming in for Mount Vernon. We have number 32, Mary Fleming, coming in. Landis now working with Graham again. Graham with the three-point. Unfortunately is no good. Rattles off and goes back out.
Her first miss of the night.
Mount Vernon will retain the ball back. Working her way up is Abby Worley, trying to get something done here. Lexi Shelton now with the ball. Top of the key for Worley. Back over to Worley. Shelton looking for something. Tessa Freeman with a shot attempt there. No good. Pendleton will get the ball back.
Well, Freeman has really struggled for Mount Vernon. She has very heterodox shot form, and it's really not worked for her here so far in the first half.
Wilson now working with Davis here as Pendleton is on the offensive. Trying to get something going. Score is 20-10 with Pendleton leading. Davis and Wilson still working back and forth, trying to get something done. Davis pushes into the paint, down to the corner. Goes for the two-point attempt. It is no good. Mount Vernon will get the ball back. Sydney Perry with the layup. It is no good. Landis now with the ball, working her way up towards half court here. Gonna go for a push, it looks like. Back over to Graham. Graham with the three-point. Graham is a three-point right there. It was a little bit too hard. Bounces straight up off the basket and back down. Mount Vernon now with the ball. So Freeman here. Starting for the Marauders much so far. Maybe get a little bit there.
Yeah. As soon as you say she haven't seen much from her, she immediately hits the shot. I suppose that's just how it goes.
I like to see Landis start to facilitate more drives down to baseline as this game is going to be more of a layup game more than a three-point game, even though Graham is on fire tonight.
Yeah, Graham 3 for 3 from 3, 4 for 6 overall, missed her last 2 shots. As Claire Findale will now check in for Pendleton Heights for Leonie Wilson. 2 girls on the girls soccer team this past fall. Score right now 20-12 in favor of Pendleton Heights. 2:32 remaining in the first half.
Landis to Fendel, called there by the referee's foul on Pendleton.
Yeah, Kylie Davis with a foul against, or rather away from the ball. Not sure exactly what that was, but again, it's a foul against Kylie Davis, so it'll be Mount Vernon basketball. Turnover.
Freeman working over there with Worley, trying to get something done. Worley now with the shot inside of the 3. It is good. That is 2 more points for Mount Vernon. Score is 20 for Pendleton, 14 for Mount Vernon. Pendleton hasn't scored in a hot minute now. We got to see if Kylie Davis and Claire Fendel can get something done. Fendel now at the top of the key, pushing into the paint. Foul called on Mount Vernon.
Well, Findale was on the right side of the court, and the official called that from the left side with a lot of players in his way, trying to see what the foul was called. It's a break for Pendleton Heights because I did not actually believe that she was fouled on the shot attempt. The head coach, Julie Schultz from Mount Vernon, was right there to see it. She immediately groaned. Then about 5 or 6 Mount Vernon fans right behind her, behind the players' bench, groaned in unison as well.
Findale 1 for 2 there for free throws coming in tonight. Pendleton now with 21 points. Mount Vernon with 14. Mount Vernon with the ball back. Pendleton able to steal it back. Lauren Landis now on the drive. Down to the far right corner.
And now Pendleton Heights in the 1-on-1 bonuses. Lauren Landis was almost shoved out of bounds. She was being trapped in the corner by 2 players, Dunleavy and Freeman. But she was fouled. Was not shooting, so just the 1-on-1 bonus here, not 2 guaranteed shots.
Landis' first shot is good. Pendleton will now go up to 22 points with Mount Vernon still trailing at 14. Landis, of course, gets 1 more in this 1-on-1 bonus.
Now we'd like to thank these WEEM donors. Stephanie Hensley of Remax at the Crossing. Closet Concepts. Ryan Ledbetter, attorney at law, as Landis hits the second free throw. Dan Peterson of Edmart Sales, as well as the gentle dentist, Dr. Mary Beth Sheehan.
Timeout called. You guys are listening to the voice, Arabian basketball on the Voice of the Arabians, 91.7 WEEM. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Mount Vernon as the Pendleton Heights Lady Arabians are facing the Mount Vernon Marauders. There is 1:44 left in the second quarter. Pendleton leading 23-14 over the Marauders. Marauders now with the ball. Mary Fleming with the 3-point shot there. It is no good. Pendleton will retain the ball back. Landis now working her way up with Kylie Davis.
Fleming, not much of a 3-point shooter, just 29% from behind the arc this season, but Mount Vernon only 26%, so she's one of their better shooters, I suppose you could say.
Graham here, being an insane 3-point shooter tonight, being able to put up more than Mount Vernon combined. Davis now with the 2-point attempt inside of the free throw line there. Unfortunately, it is no good. Mount Vernon will retain the ball back. Tessa Freeman now working with Abby Worley, trying to get something done. Lake and Connor there with the block. Claire Fendel now working her way up for the Arabians. Claire Fendel with a 3-point shot. It is good. Rattles in from right behind the 3-point wing there. Score now is 26-14 with 44 seconds left in the second quarter. Mount Vernon still trailing by a large deficit here as they retain the ball. It is Tessa Freeman now working for the 3-point. It is good. Sydney Perry taking that shot there and making it.
A rare 3 made by Mount Vernon.
Tessa Freeman there with the assist. Kylie Davis now working her way up inside the paint, trying to get something done here. Lauren Landis going for the is no good as the layup just hits the bottom of the basket. Ball is rolling on the floor. Mount Vernon picks it up and heads on the attack. Lexi Shelton there with the 3-point shot. It is no good. Graham now working her way up there for the Arabians. Going for the layup. Unfortunately, the layup is no good. That will end the second quarter. Pendleton Heights with 26 points and Mount Vernon Marauders trailing with only 17.
Welcome back to the Napleton Automotive Halftime Show. The score right now in favor of the Lady Arabians, 20 for Mount Vernon here at Mount Vernon High School. This, of course, is Hoosier Heritage Conference. Pelton Heights this season already 3-1 in conference. Half their games have been HHC games. They went 7-0 last year. They lost to Greenfield Central earlier this season for their lone conference loss. 4-4 overall. Mount Vernon, this is their 8th game, or rather their 9th game as well. They've played 8 games, just like the Arabians, but they have not yet played a conference game. Excuse me, this is their first. They are, of course, 0-0 in the HHC and 3-5 overall. Their wins coming against Lawrence Central, Rushville, an overtime former HHC opponent since left the conference, and also Westfield. The Mount Vernon team started 0-3. They played Anderson for their next game on December 5th. Well, Brian, tonight the story has been Kaylin Graham for Pelton Heights. She has 11 points. At one point, she had more points than the Mount Vernon team as a whole. She had 11. Mount Vernon had 10. Since then, other players have gotten involved in scoring for the Arabians, and Mount Vernon has kind of taken off a little bit offensively, but still, she had at one point, about midway through the second quarter, she had more points than the entire team. Also chipping in for Pelton Heights, Landis, Findell, and Connor each with 4 points, and Lakin Connor has also chipped in 8 rebounds and a block. And now over for the Mount Vernon side of things, Tessa Freeman leading the way with 6 points. Sydney Perry has 5. Worley, Williams, and Nugent all have 2 each. As we're now here, still at the Nableton Automotive halftime show, the score 26-17 in favor of the Knights. This one soon to get underway. The third quarter, I should say, soon to get underway. About 2 minutes remaining until that starts. Brian, what did you see from Pelton Heights' offense? Mainly Kaylin Graham there in that first half.
Kaylin Graham is just a deadly sharpshooter from outside that arch, putting in 3 threes in a row, just back to back to back. It was insane. I was not expecting that, and she is known to make more threes than she does anywhere else. So compared to layups and jump shots inside the arch, of course.
Yeah, she is. No ifs, ands, buts about it. She's a 3-point shooter. She has about 3 times as many more 3-point attempts than 2-point attempts, and that is as rare as it gets. It's almost Magaduli last year, senior off the bench for Pelton Heights, since, of course, graduated. But she had about twice as many threes as 2 points, and I thought it was a crazy margin, and now she's doing that even more so, 3 times as many threes than 2s. And it's not like she's a bad 3-point shooter. Dooley wasn't, of course, but Dooley shot about 30% from 3 last season, about 31. And Kaylin Graham coming into tonight, 10%, that's a whole lot. And shoots a better percentage from 3 than overall in the field. 39% overall, 40% from 3, that's coming into tonight. And overall tonight, or rather I should say today, it's still the afternoon, Brian, I have to keep reminding myself that. But she's 3 for 4 on the night, so that 40% has gone up even more so. And she has 11 points. Her season average, 13.3 coming into this game here today. She scored 15 or more in 4 straight games. Almost a sure bet to have that be 5 straight games after today.
And her, of course, being a junior, I want to see what the rest of this season and then her senior year season could be, too. That percentage probably will go up. Of course, as well, tonight we've had Lakin Connor just being that defensive backbone for the Arabians.
She's like a vacuum, just sucking all the rebounds.
Yeah. Yes, it's honestly insane. I'm not that tall, nowhere close to it. And she's just up there smacking away. Of course, Lauren Landis and Leonie Wilson working pretty well together. I'd like to see Aubrey Dwiggins come out this half here and get a little bit more action.
She was there early on, which led her to the bench. But right now, the third quarter set getting underway. Brian Walker, take it away.
Pendleton Heights will start with the ball. We have 8 minutes in this third quarter. Pendleton with 26. Mount Vernon with 17 as we get started. Here, Kylie Davis working her way at the top of the key. Looking for a shot, goes back to a pass. Landis now with the ball at the bottom corner, running baseline. Oh, pushed into the back benches by a Mount Vernon player. Here, Pendleton will receive the Mount Vernon's ball, per se, knocked out by Landis.
And Lauren Landis was literally shoved into the first row of the bleachers, face first. Luckily, she didn't lose any teeth. Luckily, she put her hands down before her face made contact. But a foul called, or rather no foul was called, and it will be Mount Vernon basketball.
Dunleavy and Freeman working together. Back over to Sydney Perry, who's been taking a lot of shots tonight. Not a lot of them have been able to connect. Another shot by Mount Vernon by Dunleavy there. Unfortunately, does not go in. Arabians will have the ball back. Kylie Davis working her way up towards the corner, back to running baseline. Foul called.
All right, traveling called before the shooting foul. Foul's not going the Arabians' way here early on in the third quarter. 43 to it.
Ravens here need to, that pep talk from halftime, of course. This might be a faster game these second 2 quarters here as Mount Vernon is working their way up into Arabian territory here. Dunleavy here running baseline into the paint for Mount Vernon. It is no good for the layup there. Blocked out by Lauren Landis. Not receive the ball again. We're starting to see a faster paced game from both sides here coming into the third quarter. Mount Vernon here. Freeman with the shot. It is no good. Rebounded there by Leighton Connor. Graham now with the ball in Mount Vernon territory.
One more rebound for Connor. She'll be in double digits.
Davis now working with Graham, per se, sorry. Davis now and Lauren Landis here at the corner there for the baseline. Trying to get something done. She's kind of boxed in by the Marauders. There's a timeout called.
And with that time, we're going to take a quick timeout as well. The score right now, the same as it was at halftime. A low scoring is, I'll probably say, a no scoring third quarter here so far. 26-17, the score remains in favor of Pelham Heights against Mount Vernon. Here at Mount Vernon for Lady Arabian.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Mount Vernon as your Pendleton Heights Lady Arabians face off against the Mount Vernon Marauders. Kylie Davis putting in a 2 there before the foul was called. Shooting foul there for the Arabians this year. She gets three free throws. One free
Chance to
throw.
convert the three-point play there, but she missed the free throw.
Mount Vernon now with the ball. Tessa Freeman looking for something to happen for the Marauders. Sydney Perry trying to get something done there as she makes a run through the paint. Unfortunately, blocked by the Arabians for Sydney there, passing it back to Freeman. Freeman trying to get something done here. Marauders just passing the ball around in Pendleton territory. No shots being taken yet. Just looking. Dunleavy able to put in a 3 for the Marauders at the left corner there of Pendleton's own hoop.
That's her first points of the night. 3 from the right corner. Cuts it to single digits.
28-20 here as Pendleton still leads the Marauders in the third quarter. There's 5:35 left to go. There's a foul called on Mount Vernon. Landis now with the throw-in. Work our way over to Leighton Connor here. Connor and Landis trying to get something done over to Graham. Graham now, deadly accuracy from 3 points tonight. Looking to see if she can put one up now. Davis now with the ball on the arch there on the far left of the court. Davis working her way up into the elbow there. Dwiggins receiving the ball at the baseline. Back to Davis. Davis called with a travel there. Mount Vernon will get the ball back.
That is her second traveling violation here in the game this afternoon against Mount Vernon.
Tessa Freeman working her way up with Caitlin Dunleavy being able to put up her first points of the night just a little bit ago with a 3-point shot on the Arabians. Sydney Perry now working alongside of Freeman and Dunleavy. The shot goes up by Perry. It is no good. Arabians receive the ball back. It is Leighton Connor with the ball now. Landis trying to get something done, maybe facilitate a nice run or shot here. Davis with the shot outside the 3. It is good. Davis being able to sink that one with ease. 31-20, Pendleton leading here at Mount Vernon. 4:33 left to go in the third quarter. Mount Vernon now with the ball back in Pendleton territory.
Davis was scoreless there in the first half, hitting her first 3 here in half number 2, which is good for her, just at least, of course, for the game, putting Ravens back up 11, but for her side, she's not shot the ball very well since the third game of the year.
Dunleavy with the jump shot there at the free throw line. It is no good. Arabians do get the ball back. Davis now with the ball working alongside of Leighton Connor. Leighton goes for the shot. It is no good. Wiggins tries to save the ball. It goes out of bounds. Lonnie Wilson will be coming in for Leighton Connor.
Connor, not much of a jump shooter. Took the jump shot at the free throw line. Missed by a relatively wide margin. As you mentioned, Wilson checks in for Connors. The Ravens are going small. The lineup right now of Davis, Wilson, Landis, Graham, and Wiggins. Wiggins dwarfing everyone else on the floor. She's taller than the next tallest player by about 5 inches.
Lexi Shelton coming in for Mount Vernon here as Mount Vernon gets the ball back and is working their way onto Pendleton's own territory here. Freeman with the shot. It is good.
We talked about Freeman's, hate to say it to be blunt, but her ugly shot form earlier there in the first half. But she got that one to go, just kind of heaved it up there to the basket, and was good for 3 points.
Landis now with the ball at the top of the key for the Arabians. Back over to Davis. Davis running it into the paint. Davis with the attempted layup there.
And she gets fouled on the shot there. She had to line down for 2 shots.
Pendleton leading with 31 points. Mount Vernon trailing with only 23. There's 3 minutes and 33 seconds left in the third quarter.
Now we'd like to thank these WEEM donors: Mr. Steve Cherry, Jane Clark and family, Dan and Teresa Joyce, Donna and Bill Hutton, as well as Tim, Cindy, Jason, Don, Braxton, and McKenna Roofer.
Davis able to sink the first free throw in there for the Arabians. Second one goes up. It is good. Pendleton now with 33 points, leading Mount Vernon by 10 points here with 3:30 left to go in the third quarter. Landis getting shoved out of bounds there as she trips. Mount Vernon with the ball. Sophia Williams with the shot. It is no good. Pendleton will retain the ball back. It is Kaylin Graham now. Lauren Landis with the 3 for the night. It is good. Lauren's first 3 of the night sinks right in there from the, I believe that was the lower part of the key.
One timeout now called by Julie Shelton, Mount Vernon. With that timeout, we're going to take a quick timeout as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Mount Vernon as your Pendleton Heights Lady Arabians face off against the Lady Mount Vernon Marauders. Pendleton leading with 36 points. Mount Vernon trailing with only 23 with 3:11 left to go in this third quarter here. We are coming back from a timeout break. Aubrey Dwiggins, the tallest player out there on the court right now, looking to see if she can get something done, facilitate something with Lauren Landis and Leonie Wilson, as Leonie is, just that super fast, active player. Mount Vernon with the ball in Pendleton territory. Sophia Williams looking to get something done, getting double teamed by Pendleton per se. Leonie Wilson with the block there, being able to get Pendleton back the ball. Leonie over to Landis. Landis just making her first 3 of the day so far. Aubrey Dwiggins with the shot. It is good. Drains it.
That's her first 3 made since the opening round game, or the opening night game against Marion on Halloween. She missed her previous 9.
Mount Vernon able to try to get something done again. Unfortunately, they are unable to get that layup in. Pendleton leading 39, Mount Vernon 23 with 2:24 left to go in this third quarter. Kylie Davis now working slowly and steadily with Leonie Wilson and Lauren Landis, getting that kind of that deadly trio going here. Wilson now with the ball. Pendleton looking to get some more points on the board before the end of this third quarter here. Landis over to Wilson. Wilson going into the paint. The pass is stolen by Mount Vernon. Mount Vernon now with a run. Sydney Perry going up. Sydney Perry sinks one in. 25-39 as Pendleton still leads.
Some more shots here in the third quarter. Only taken 1. She did hit that shot. She's now at 13 points, but 4 for 6 in the first half. And just 1 shot here in the third.
Graham looking like she wanted to take a shot there at the top of the key. Moving into the paint there. The 2-point shot is no good. Mount Vernon will get the ball back. It is a rush back from Mount Vernon. Tessa Freeman now with the ball just inside Pendleton's half. Lauren Landis there with the steal. Lauren going up for the layup. Easy 2-point layup for Lauren Landis. 41-25 here as Pendleton keeps a steady lead over the Marauders. 1:20 left to go. Mount Vernon trying to respond with their own 2-point layup there. It is no good. Kylie Davis able to retain the ball heading into Marauder territory. Davis taking it slow, looking to see if they can get some sort of opening, working with Lauren Landis. Of course, back and forth. Kaylin Graham now back in the paint. Ball is stolen from Graham by Mount Vernon. Mount Vernon now working their way into Pendleton's own territory. Back again with Tessa Freeman. Freeman able to fake some out, working with Abby Worley. Abby Worley over to Sydney Perry. Shooting foul called.
Yeah, she was driving in baseline. Not sure exactly who the foul was against. There was a litany of Pendleton Heights defenders down there in the low post, but it'd be called. Let's see. They have number 20 on the scoreboard right now. There's actually no 20 on the Pendleton Heights roster, so I guess we'll have to just use our imagination. We'll call that Sally Smith. The foul is called on.
First free throw is no good for Mount Vernon. Still 25-41 with Pendleton leading. Lauren Landis coming in for Lauren Landis is Jaden Brown.
So I would assume there, since Landis came out of the game, that the foul was on her. As Jaden Brown now checks in, a junior who's been on the varsity team for 3 years, has not seen a lot of playing time here in her junior campaign.
Mount Vernon able to sink one of two of those free throws in. 45 seconds left to go in this third quarter. Pendleton with 42 points. Mount Vernon trailing with only 25. The Wiggins.
They're calling it a foul on the floor. Not sure I agree with that call. I believe they're calling it on the floor. And they're not calling it a shooting foul. Wiggins was shooting the ball and it was literally shoved to the ground.
It was out her hands as she. There's 30 seconds left in the third quarter. Pendleton Heights leading with 41 points. Mount Vernon trailing with only 26. Of course, Leighton Connor here being able to be the big defensive backbone for Pendleton. Lauren Landis being able to finally sink 1-3 of the night. Aubrey Wiggins being able to put up some points. But the main highlight of today has been Kaylin Graham and Kylie Davis. Kylie Davis stepping up, doing a lot of work as a freshman. Working her way over with Jaden Brown. Graham with the shot. It is a little too short. Bounces off the front of the rim there. Does not go in. Vernon will get the ball as it does go out of bounds.
Yeah, long shots equal long rebounds. Wiggins almost saved that one for Pendleton Heights, but stepped out of bounds as she made contact trying to tip it back in to save it.
Kylie Davis with a little bit of a block there on a pass. Unfortunately, Mount Vernon will retain it. Mount Vernon losing it again. Jaden Brown now at the bottom of the corner on the right side of the court. Over to Davis. Davis to Wilson. Wilson in the paint. Goes up for the two. No good. Bounces in and straight back out. Wilson gets the ball back. Over to Wiggins. That is the end of the third quarter. Pendleton leading with 41. Mount Vernon trailing with only 26.
Welcome back here to Mount Vernon High School. Pendleton Heights on the verge of maybe blowing out Mount Vernon. One more run, it could make it a blowout. 41-26 in favor of Pendleton Heights here against Mount Vernon for Lady Arabians basketball. 7:48 remaining in the fourth quarter. This one just underway in the final quarter. Mount Vernon with the basketball now in the top of the key. Stepping in front of the three-point line is Tessa Freeman. Her shot is too long, rebounded offensively by Freeman. Gets it herself, but she misses yet another shot in the paint. And Davis driving now gets hit from behind, and a foul called against, I believe that will be Sophia Williams. Or rather, that is on Caitlin Nugent, Mount Vernon. That is Mount Vernon's 16th foul here in the second half. One more, Pendleton Heights will be in the 1-and-1 bonus. Pendleton Heights liking that to just their one team foul here in the second half. 30 seconds into the fourth quarter.
Mount Vernon not being able to do much so far this past quarter, the third quarter. They're not being able to be super offensive as Pendleton just started taking the game away from them.
Davis now for Pendleton Heights on the right wing. Jab steps now, gets a screen from Kaylin Graham. Dribbling over to the top of the key, floats it into Jaden Brown in the paint, loses the ball. Stolen away by Freeman of Mount Vernon. Now stolen right back by Dwiggins of Pendleton Heights. Wilson with the basketball now at the elbow. And Wisely will take it back to the top of the key. Has Kaylin Graham down the left wing, dribbles right in, maybe gets away with the travel, lays it up, and it's too strong. It will be Mount Vernon basketball after Freeman gets the rebound. A foul called, I believe, against Kaylin Graham of Pendleton Heights. Loose ball foul. It will be Mount Vernon basketball, not a shooting foul. And Mount Vernon will inbound it underneath the Arabians' own basket, sending on the first in Mount Vernon on the baseline. Arabians showing the full court press. Mount Vernon trying to push right past it. Lexi Sheldon at the top of the key. No, over to Freeman for another three-pointed tip. She heaves it up and is too strong yet again. Dwiggins fights for the rebound but cannot get it. Mount Vernon maintains possession. Freeman tosses it up and she misses yet another shot. Still another offensive rebound for Mount Vernon. Now over to Caitlin Dunlavy for three on the right wing, and it's too strong. Pendleton Heights finally gets a rebound. Up ahead to Kaylin Graham. Fast break. Too strong of a pass by Leonie Wilson. But Graham able to recover in time. Wilson now driving inside the paint. Lays it up. Floats it too strong. Not had her best game. She is yet to make a shot. Mount Vernon basketball now 41-26. 6 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. Perry driving baseline, instead kicks it back out to Freeman. The ball was kicked, however, by Jaden Brown. She will now head to the bench in favor of Lauren Landis, and Graham will head to the bench in favor of Lakin Connor. The Arabians go big here with 6 minutes and 6 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter as both Dwiggins and Connor are out there on the floor. Connor at 6 foot even, Dwiggins at 5'11". Freeman drives in baseline. Lauren Landis nearly gets a piece of that one. Rebound was too strong anyways. Or the shot was too strong anyway, but the rebounded by Mount Vernon anyway, I should say. foul called against Aubrey Dwiggins. That is her third. First since the first quarter. Loose ball foul will be Mount Vernon basketball. And getting the inbound pass right underneath her own basket is Nugent. She misses late, but another rebound offensively by Mount Vernon. They maintain possession. Driving it now as Perry kicks it back out to Freeman on the left wing. Davis giving her space, daring her to shoot it. Now down low to Perry. She floats it in, but is too strong. And another offensive rebound, this time by Lexi Shelton. Kicks it back out, top of the key. And it's good. She sinks that one from the top of the key. That is Sydney Perry, shooting just 24% from behind the arc this season. She makes it a 12-point game, 41-29 with 5:30 remaining in the fourth quarter.
Mount Vernon, of course, being able to get a lot of offensive rebounds, but not a lot of shots going in. The first in a long list of shots they've taken within the past minute.
Landis tries to drive baseline, but it gets fouled, and she will now head to the line for the 1-and-1 bonus. That is on Sydney Perry, the girl who just hit the three-point basket for the Marauders. And a timeout called by Julie Shelton of Mount Vernon. 41-29 in favor of Pelton Heights. 5:23 remaining in the fourth quarter. Landis' first free throw, the 1-and-1, is sank. Back up to a 13-point lead in favor of Pelton Heights. 42-29. She'll now have the second of the 1-and-1 bonus. Dribbles it twice at the charity stripe. Floats it up. Looked to be too strong from my vantage point, but she drilled it anyways. 43-29, back up to 14 points is the lead for Pelton Heights. Pelton Heights showing the four-court press. Mount Vernon with the basketball now. Wide open three in the right corner for Lexi Shelton is too strong. Rebounded offensively yet again by Abby Worley. Shelton with the ball now at the elbow. Kicks it back out to Sydney Perry. Stolen by Lauren Landis, but a foul called. Not happy with the call there is Landis. I believe that is her third. Actually, that is her second foul. Arabian's fourth team foul. Pelton Heights already in the 1-and-1 bonus, thanks to Mount Vernon's fouls. They'll maintain Marauder possession. 5 minutes exactly left to go in the fourth quarter. Wide open for three is Lexi Shelton in the right corner, and it's too strong, an air ball. Rebounded by Dwiggins of Pelton Heights.
The Marauders, of course, not being known for their three-point accuracy whatsoever, and you can see that this game.
Yeah, Marauders coming into this game here today, just 26% from behind the arc, and almost assuredly that is lessened after this game. Davis with the basketball now for the Arabians, about 10 feet behind the top of the key, trying to drive in against Sydney Perry, instead hands it off to Wilson. Bit out of control now, wisely slows it down, takes a breath. Let's try and start this one over again. Now goes in, twists, turns, spins in the paint, gets shoved on the shot. Wildly missed the shot, but she got fouled, got bailed out there by Abby Worley. I believe that is her second. Yes, that is her second personal foul. That is Mount Vernon's 8th team foul. Wilson will have 2 shots regardless. She sinks the first free throw. She would have gotten 2 anyways, with it being a shooting foul. But Wilson coming into this game, shooting just 39% from the free throw line. 1 for 1 here. She goes 2 for 2 as she drills both free throws. Back up to a 16-point lead, tying the largest margin here at Mount Vernon High School. 4 minutes remaining. Mount Vernon is running out of time. Half-court heave over in the corner to Sydney Perry. And her three-point shot from the right corner is too strong. And Landis tries to get the rebound but tips it out of bounds. And subs now coming in. That is Madison Stam, the sophomore from Mount Vernon, filling in for Caitlin Nugent.
Leonie Wilson, of course, being a junior for Pelton Heights, she's very athletic, playing 2 sports, of course. She just needs to learn how to control herself on the court. Being just super aggressive and just taking all the shots she can.
Perry driving in from Mount Vernon. Kicks it back out to Stamen, who just recently checked in. Stolen by Leonie Wilson of Pelton Heights. 1-on-2 fast break. She loses the handle on the dribble, and it's a turnover. It will be Mount Vernon basketball.
Like we were just saying, Leonie there could have had a few chances. She had a few steps that she could have slowed down and regained control of the ball. Unfortunately, just going up for that single-handed drive there, trying to get something done. Unfortunately, that was not the right call there, as she did lose possession.
45-29 in favor of Pelton Heights. A free throw jump shot taken by Lexi Shelton is sank. Rattles that one in. 45-31, the lead cut down to 14 with 3:34 remaining in the fourth quarter. Wilson floats up to Landis, wide open on the left wing. Back out to Wilson, about 5 feet behind the top of the key. Now Lauren Landis, wide open from the left wing, is too strong and then rolls its way up past the top of the backboard and out of bounds. It will be Mount Vernon basketball. here with under 3.5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Pelton Heights defense has been locked down so far in this game. Mount Vernon with just 31 points, averaging 45 coming into this game.
Pendleton having this huge height differential here, as well as Aubrey Dwiggins, and of course Lake and Connor being the two tallest members on Pendleton Heights and in this game thus far for both teams.
Ravens leading scorer Kaylin Graham checks back at the game for Wilson. Ravens have their starters on the floor right now. Lexi Shelton for three from the left corner is too strong. Rebounded, another offensive rebound for Mount Vernon. This time it's Sydney Perry for three, and she sinks it from the left wing. Down to an 11-point game. Mount Vernon showing the full court press. Davis tries to get it across half court, but a timeout called by head coach Chad Cook at Pelton Heights. Welcome back here to Mount Vernon High School. Pelton Heights leading this one by 11 points, 45-34 with 2:56 remaining here in the fourth and final quarter. Make sure to stick around for the Markville Lumber post-game show for stats, news, and a breakdown of this game. And we'll also have a live interview with head coach Chad Cook when he makes his way up here. What he hopes will be the fifth win of the season. Mount Vernon showing the full court press, coming back to score the previous 5 points in this game. Nearly stolen the backcourt, but it's tipped up to Kylie Davis for Pelton Heights. Landis down across half court, driving in baseline, throws it wildly to Lakey Connor. Her mid-range jump shot is too strong, rebounded by Mount Vernon and Abby Worley. Skips it up ahead to Madison Stam, who now drives in baseline, back to the basket. Swiss turn spins all around, and no foul called there. Good no call by the officials, as Connor affected that shot. Davis needs to get across half court, still a foot behind the line, and now finally does. Across half court, swings up ahead to Kaylin Graham, has to recover the pass there. Cross court pass to Lauren Landis, wide open on the right wing. Swings up ahead to Kylie Davis at the top of the key. 2 minutes and 13 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Pelton Heights taking their time here on offense, up 11 points against Mount Vernon. They have never trailed in this game. Landis picks up her dribble on her pivot foot, but a foul called first before she could make the pass. That is against Lexi Shelton, freshman for Mount Vernon. She'll head to the line now for the 1-and-1. One more foul, and Pelton Heights will be in the double bonus, so they'll get 2 shots regardless. Landis coming into this game tonight shooting 74% from the line. Dribbles it twice, but she is now 2 free throws. 46 in favor of the Arabians against Mount Vernon. Here at Mount Vernon, 2 minutes and 1 second remaining in the fourth quarter. Here, this doubleheader day of Arabian basketball. Boys basketball at Carmel tonight at 7:30 p.m. Brian, you and I will be on that broadcast as well. She misses the second free throw. Still a 12-point game, rebounded by Sydney Perry of Mount Vernon. Now driving in wildly is Worley over to Freeman, who lobs it back up to Madison Stain for a 3-point shot, and it's too short from the left wing. Graham with the defensive rebound for Pelton Heights. Davis crosses up her defender Freeman. Ravens now have possession on their side of the floor rather than Mount Vernon's side of the floor. Lots of long passes for Pelton Heights, wasting time here, milking the clock. Now 90 seconds left. They're up 12 points. Yet to trail in this game. Graham gets double teamed, but Lauren Landis is able to pick that one up before it gets stolen by Mount Vernon, who's floating up in the air. I wonder when Mount Vernon will foul. Nearly an over and back, and a foul now called against Lexi Shelton, the freshman.
Mount Vernon starting to double team.
Hey, you mentioned there, Brian, Mount Vernon starting to double team Landis there. But she was fouled, so not too hot of defense there by Mount Vernon. She'll now get 2 shots as they're in the double bonus. Was not a shooting foul, but again, with the 10th team foul by Mount Vernon, she will get 2 shots regardless, as will all of Pelton Heights for the rest of the game. Lance's first free throw is floated in for another point, 47-34 now.
Claire Fandel coming in for Lake and Connor. Claire having 4 points when she was subbed in earlier. She can get something done with these last 1 minute and 14 seconds.
Lance's second free throw is good as well, as that one gets rattled in from 15 feet away. Back up to 14 points now, 48-34. Mount Vernon is running out of time, 1 minute, 8 seconds left. A 3-point shot by Lexi Shelton is too short, rebounded by Kaylin Graham of the Arabians. Landis crosses half court now, floats it up to Kylie Davis on the left wing. Now cross-court pass back out to Kaylin Graham at the top of the key. Bounces it over to Dwiggins at the elbow, now back out to Lauren Landis, about 10 feet behind the right wing. Ravens are just having long cross-court passes. Mount Vernon looks like they will not foul, just trying to get a turnover here. 42 seconds left, and now they do foul. It is Lexi Shelton, the freshman, fouling Laura Landis for the third time here in previous about 2 minutes or so, I'd say. Let's head to the line now for 2 more shots.
That looked like a
Not
very
a shooting foul, but
blatant,
the double bonus. Go
that
ahead.
looked like a very, very blatant foul as well, if you could tell. Kind of starting with pushing the hands going out there. Not even trying to get a full block, just kind of starting, leading with her hands going into Lauren right there.
Landis averaging 9 points coming into tonight, had 4 at the half. We'll get you the official point total. The Markville Lumber postgame show. Almost assuredly more than the 9 she averages. She hits 2 more there. Back up to 16 points, the largest lead in the game for Pelham Heights. They've yet to trail. 50 to 35 seconds left. In the paint is Stam, and she throws it out of bounds. Wild actually ruling that it was blocked by Albert Dwiggins, so it will be Arabian, rather it will be Marauder basketball, as no one touched it after Dwiggins just barely got a piece of that shot. Inbounding in on the first in of Mount Vernon on the baseline underneath their own basket is Worley of the Marauders, and she throws it right off the feet of Claire Vindell. We'll do it again. 31.4 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. Trying to find someone deep, and now she fires it over to Sydney Perry for 3, and it nearly is an air ball. Barely hits the rim. Offensive rebound for Mount Vernon. Another miss, another offensive rebound, and another miss, and another offensive rebound. Now underneath the glass. Counted and the foul. Madison Stam gets the third offensive rebound for Mount Vernon on that possession. She lays it in off the glass and gets fouled on the play. Cuts it to a 14-point game. Chance to cut it to 13. Here with 21 seconds left in the fourth quarter, 50 to 36 in favor of Pelham Heights. Stam this season a 50% free throw shooter, just 1 for 2. Now 2 for 3 on the season. She hits her lone free throw 50 to 37. Mount Vernon still with a full court press and a foul called about 90 feet away from the basket. Clock stops at 20.7 seconds left. 13-point game in favor of Pelham Heights. Not sure why Mount Vernon was fouling there. That is on Sydney Perry. That is her third.
At this point, Pendleton is just trying to waste time, run down the clock, just finish out this game with a 50 to 37 lead here.
And an incredibly quick game here. This last few minutes have taken longer than any other time through this game. The game started at about 1:30. Here we are, not even 3 o'clock. The game's about to end. Davis goes 1 for 2 from the line. 14 points now is the lead for Pelham Heights. 17 seconds left to go here in the fourth quarter. Freeman with the ball for Mount Vernon. Kicks it over to Shelton, who now drives in at the elbow. Her jump shot is drilled. Down to a 12-point game. 5 seconds left. She hands it off to Claire Findell. Ball comes loose, but 1 second left. Second heat by Freeman for Mount Vernon as she stole the ball. And that will do it here at Mount Vernon High School. Here on the Markville Lumber post-game show, Pelham Heights defeats Mount Vernon for just the third time since 2010. 51 to 39 is the final score. Welcome back here to the Markville Lumber post-game show. Pelham Heights just defeated Mount Vernon by a score of 51 to 39. We're now joined by Pelham Heights head basketball coach Chad Cook. Coach Cook, we just mentioned the score tonight. You guys win 50, or rather today I should say, 51 to 39. You guys win. What went right for you guys here tonight against Mount Vernon? Never trailing in the game.
Yeah, we executed pretty good here. Did some good things. Really concentrated on our shot selection, and I was really proud of the effort we did there. And was able to execute all offensively really well. Defensively, did a good job. We got to get a little bit better on the back end of defense and getting the rebound. But we gave up a lot of extra chances, especially there in the second half. But, we just got to keep getting better at that, keep working. And, each game we'll make strides to the right direction. We made some good strides, to get to be a better team today. And we'll continue that as we move into next week.
Well, going into this game, Coach, Mount Vernon's leading scorer was Sophia Williams at exactly 10 points per game. Here tonight, just 2, including none in the second half. What did you guys do so well against her to really keep her in check?
Yeah, we knew we'd be able to contain her. We did some things that we concentrated on, what she might do. So really proud of our girls' effort inside. And Aubrey Dwiggins started off with her and matched up and, did a really good job. Lake and Connor inside, helped some of that happen as well. But, we concentrated on making sure that it wasn't going to go through her today. So really proud of the girls' effort for executing offensively and defensively, like where we're heading.
Well, Coach, tonight, Lauren Landis, the only senior on this team, she's kind of struggled somewhat this season shooting the ball, only averaging 9 points per game coming into tonight, only 20% from 3. but here tonight she had 16 points. What about her game tonight was lended to us an advantage?
I think, with us executing better allowed her to, be more comfortable in what she was doing. She's the only returning, player here that's, had some experience. So for her, with us doing a better job executing, it's going to allow her to hit shots, in the execution better instead of, forcing them or trying to get them off quick. So I think they were just more settled and, better today. So, real proud of her. And, that's the way it's going to go for her. If we're doing things well, she's going to score for us.
Well, Coach, to get you out of here on this, your team's next game is this Tuesday, December 5th against HSE. Last season on your 19-5 campaign, arguably your worst loss here, about 40 points against HSE, 82-41 in that game. What would you like to take from this game against Mount Vernon, the win, to that tough game against HSE on Tuesday?
Yeah, it's going to be very important. It's a good team to challenge ourselves with. Last year we tried to compete and go up and down there with them, and that press forced us into a lot of things, and then it got bent out of shape. But this year we're going to try a little bit of a different approach and see if we can't go. This team is hard-nosed, and they got to believe that they're going to be able to get out of a trap and get out of trouble defensively because of how good they are. And we're going to be able to use the same things we work on in the fundamentals that you really build confidence in if you can do them against your number 4 in the state or whatever Hamilton Southeastern is on Tuesday. So that's going to help us, and then we get a big conference game on Thursday against Delta. It's big for us to do the right things here. Winning these conference games on the road like today and getting that one at Delta is going to be really good for a boys-girls doubleheader there in January at New Pal.
Well, Coach, congratulations on your 35th win here at Pelton Heights.
All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks for covering us.
As Coach Cook now hands the headset back off to color man Brian Walker. He was not paying attention, but now he gets a slap on the back from Coach Cook. And we now continue our Mark Lumber post-game show. Again, Sam Bannon alongside Brian Walker. I am Sam Bannon. You're Brian Walker.
Am I Brian Walker?
You are Brian Walker.
I am Brian Walker.
But the score of this game, 51-39 in favor of the Lady Arabians here at Mount Vernon High School. Pelton 5-4 in the year, 4-1 in Mount Vernon, 3 their first conference game this season. They fall to 0-1 in that department in the HHC. Now, Brian's going to start to wrap up this Markville Lumber post-game show. Your final thoughts here on this Pelton Heights win.
Outstanding play. It's probably the best game I've seen them play this entire season, of course.
Yeah, they never trailed, yeah.
Yeah, they never trailed. They maintained a very good lead. They laid off on a lot of the fouls. They did not actually end up going to those bonus fouls for 1-on-1. For Pendleton, they allowed Mount Vernon to kind of make those fouls for them. Coming out, I'm excited to see Kaylee Graham's three-point just lead go through the rest of this season, of course. I enjoyed watching. It was a slower game, but it was more strategic and a lot more macro management from the entire team itself.
We start to wrap up this Markville Lumber post-game show. We'd like to thank our donors and our